Greetings and salutations. This is David Duford from Buy Life Insurance for Burial, where I help people like you find affordable burial and final expense insurance. Today's topic is Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance, and we're definitely going to be revealing secrets about the product as well as rates. The reason you're probably here on this video is because you're trying to find out as much information as possible to determine if Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance product is appropriate for you and to figure out what you've been looking at to see if it is a good deal. If that fits what you are trying to accomplish, then by all means definitely stick around for the entirety of this broadcast, because what you're going to find out is going to be great, as this can provide you a ton of information and really go a long way in helping you out to determine if the Mutual of Omaha burial insurance product you're looking at really is the best deal for you. So let's get started. First, we'll talk about an overview of what to expect on today's program. So first of all, I'm going to formally introduce you to myself as well as my business. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Mutual of Omaha, just a brief overview of the company and more about them. Then we're going to talk about Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance program. We're going to talk about the two products that are sold, one through the mail, direct to the company, and the other sold through an agent. We're going to show you health questions to figure out what you need to health qualify to qualify for either product. And then we're going to show you Mutual of Omaha burial insurance rates, and in what cases it's good to buy direct from the company, and in what cases are better to buy from a broker. And then give you some alternative ways if you find that you can't qualify for the burial insurance coverage you'd like. And then the next step to qualifying for coverage, as well as next steps to get that process started. So my name is David Duford. I am the owner of BuyLifeInsuranceForBurial.com, again, where I help people like you with their life insurance and burial insurance needs. A little bit about myself. I've been licensed since 2011 as a life insurance agent. I've helped over 3,000 families with their life insurance needs from all walks of life. I'm also a published author of 2 books at the current time. The one most relevant to you is down here in the lower left-hand corner, entitled The Official Guide to Buying Final Expense Insurance. It's a quick and easy read, designed as a pamphlet to help people like you investigate their options for burial insurance. I also work with agents nationally. I train them and recruit them to help people in their own communities out with their life insurance needs. So I'm always talking and training agents throughout the day, and as well as helping people like you. And last but not least, I am married with children, and at the filming of this, my 4th one is on the way, so wish us luck. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Mutual of Omaha as a company. So Mutual of Omaha was first founded in 1909. They're a privately held insurance company, and they do provide a lot of other products besides burial insurance, of course. They offer a lot of life insurance products. They're also a provider of disability insurance, annuities, long-term care insurance, and group insurance. Most notable, if you're over 50, you've probably seen the Wild Kingdom shows back in the day, where Mutual of Omaha was a big sponsor. That really made a great name for them. They are A+ rated by the AM Best rating, which essentially means they're very highly rated financially. And bottom line, I think Mutual of Omaha is a fantastic company. They have a long history being in business. They've been around through several wars, the Great Depression, throughout the 70s and the 80s. And that's always a good sign you're dealing with a good insurance company. And with AM Best giving an A+ rating, it's a good extra little bump too. So regardless what you do, Mutual of Omaha is definitely a company you can trust. So let's talk and drill down specifically on how the burial insurance product works. So there is a burial insurance product that's designed to pay for final expenses, probably why you're here. Most people are interested in burial insurance because they don't want to die and have family pay for their final expenses, be that a funeral, be that a cremation, or any sort of final debts. So they start this process like you're on, where they investigate to see what the best product would be to cover those particular types of debts. And Mutual of Omaha, like many other companies, provides a solution in the form of a burial insurance product. Now, what differs and what's interesting about the Mutual of Omaha burial insurance product is there's 2 different types of burial insurance products they offer. And the thing is, they're totally different from each other. So let me explain. One is sold directly from Mutual of Omaha. You'll get these advertisements on TV. You'll get these junk mail advertisements, as I like to say, and they sell a Mutual of Omaha type of product. The other is sold through independent agents like myself, where we work directly with Mutual of Omaha as an agent, and in exchange we get access to the burial insurance product. So you have to deal with an agent to get this particular type of product. What we're going to do now is break down each option, because what my goal is for this video is to help you understand which product is going to suit you the best and let you determine based off of the facts as to what option is going to be most suited for your goals. So let's talk about looking at the direct-to-consumer product, or otherwise known as the one that you would see if you saw a television ad, junk mail, or even sometimes, rare as it is, through an agent, but that is married direct to the company and doesn't represent anybody or any other carrier. So we're talking about the ones that you probably are most familiar with that you see through the mail or on TV. So here is a breakdown of how this product works. Very simple. Mutual of Omaha's direct-to-consumer product is a guaranteed acceptance product. What this means is that there's no health questions asked. For example, if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, heart history, or any sort of health problem you're worried may not get accepted through a normal process, they don't care. This particular product says your acceptance is guaranteed, sign your name, and you're fully approved. However, the catch to all this is that there's a limitation of coverage for the first 2 years. Specifically, this means that if you die by natural causes, any premiums you paid back plus, I believe, 10%, maybe 20% interest is paid back to your beneficiary as the death benefit during the first 2 years. After the first 2 years, then it's the full face amount or the amount of coverage you purchased. So let me give you an example. Let's say you purchased $10,000 in a guaranteed acceptance Mutual of Omaha coverage, and you're paying $50 a month. You die 12 months in. You've paid 12 months in. So $50 times 12 months is $600. And let's say it's 20% interest extra. So 20% of 600 is another $120. So that means your beneficiaries paid a total of $720 and not $10,000. So you can see where the problem lies. What happens if you die of natural causes within the first 2 years? You're not fully covered. Now, with that said, it's competitively priced. So some people, this is actually the only product they'll qualify for. Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance guaranteed acceptance product is actually fairly priced. So they price it in bands. There's different age ranges every 5 years, and it can be very well priced for people who cannot otherwise qualify for anything else. So again, the pros of Mutual of Omaha's direct-to-consumer product is that it's good for people who can't qualify for any other type of life insurance. It is what I call the trump card of life insurance. When all else fails, seek out a guaranteed acceptance product like what Mutual of Omaha provides. And in that case, yes, Mutual of Omaha's direct-to-consumer product for burial insurance is great. The cons are, like what I was describing. There's no natural death coverage for the first 2 years when you buy through a company agent, you buy through a television ad, or you buy through a junk mail advertisement. You're taking a risk for the first 2 years for natural causes of death. Who knows when we're going to die? Nobody does. And if you look at death as it is a permanent problem. Nobody gets out alive, as they say. You need to have coverage, if you can qualify for it, that's comprehensive, not just after the first 2 years, but during the first 2 years too. And when I say comprehensive, what I mean by that is that you ideally are fully covered. No matter if you pay one payment in, you're fully covered for that entire amount of coverage. So here's the thing. You're probably wondering, well, how do I determine if this particular product is right for me? You're telling me, Dave, that there are health questions or health issues where this may be appropriate. Well, we'll better define this in a little bit. If you can kind of hold tight, we're going to describe to you some of the other options, and I'm going to actually show you some health questions here. And then further down the line, explain why still there may be other options. So just hang tight and we'll figure it out together. So let's talk about the Mutual of Omaha burial insurance offered by a broker. So this is something that I would be able to offer you. I'm a broker. We'll get into that later on. But the concept here is, as an independent agent, Mutual Omaha allows us, like me, to offer burial insurance to my clients. So again, This is something, as I'm going to describe here in a minute, you're probably going to like the sound of this better than what you just heard. This is only a product you can get through an independent broker like me. This is not something you can call the company up and get direct. You got to deal with an independent broker. They're the ones that can offer you this particular program. So first of all, unlike the other direct-to-consumer product, this particular one has health questions. It's not guaranteed acceptance. So there's going to be some questions involved in order to determine if you are, in fact, insurable. We'll get to those in a minute. But if you're approved, you get first day full coverage. So that whole bit about the 2-year waiting period product does not apply to the does not apply to this product that I can offer you. If you're approved for coverage, you're fully covered from the first payment. In exchange, in addition, I should say, the premiums are fixed in place. That means there's never a price increase. So if you're 60 and you buy this and you make it to 100, it's the same price. It's competitively priced too. One of the great things I like as a broker selling Mutual of Omaha is their prices are good. Relative to a lot of other companies, they're much, much more competitive. And I like getting my clients the best deal so that every dollar they spend, they get more coverage for that dollar. And then lastly, with Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance product through its broker system, it can't cancel due to age or health. So again, the pros and cons of this is like, look, it's obvious, right? All the benefits above are pros. You cannot be canceled because of age or health. It's a good price. It's a fixed price. And if approved, you're fully covered from the first day. Cons are not everybody's going to qualify for this. And again, how are you going to determine if it's right for you? Hopefully you can see it's right for you. The benefits are better for you than the other. But we need to know if it's right for you based on whether or not you can health qualify. So let's actually jump into a sample application. So I'm going to pull you off of this slide and I'm going to show you an actual health question example so you can see more about what the ability for you to qualify for. And I will preface with this. If you're worried and you find out there's some health question on here that precludes you from coverage, meaning you cannot get it, don't despair. Stick with me because there are going to be some unique alternatives that we can look at as well. Okay, so what we're looking at here are what we call the knockout health questions. I'm going to quickly summarize what this says. You can welcome to pause this on your own time and read through these. But essentially, the biggest knockouts here are if you're in a nursing home, you require help to move, dress, eat, you require a wheelchair, you need oxygen to help assist in breathing. So that means you've got COPD, you have AIDS, HIV, Alzheimer's, congestive heart failure, end-stage renal disease or dialysis. You've terminally ill, you've got a heart disease, you've had something in the past year related to heart disease or heart surgery, you've had cancer in the past 2 years. If you've had diabetes before the age of 50 or diabetes at any age with complications of retinopathy, neuropathy, so these are, if you've been diagnosed before the age of 50, then this would be a problem. If you're diagnosed after the age of 50, it's fine. If you had hepatitis C, chronic lung problems, cancer in the past 4 years, kidney disease in the past 4 years, bipolar schizophrenia in the past 4 years, in the last 2 years, any heart problems of any kind, or in the past 2 years you've had a felony, you've had drug or alcohol problems, and been admitted to a facility by a physician for mental or nervous health disorder, or you've had unexplained weight loss of 10 pounds or greater. So all these questions here you have to answer no to. Again, I'll allow you to read through them on your own. They're pretty straightforward. As long as you can honestly answer everything no and everything checks out on the end of the underwriter, then it's likely or potential that you may qualify for coverage. Now that we've looked at health questions, let's take a look at some burial insurance rates just to get an idea of what you may pay if you were to qualify for their first day full coverage product. One thing before we get started, it's important to understand that what we're going to look at are multiple companies and compare and contrast Mutual of Omaha's first day full coverage rates with what the other options are out there. What we're going to look at is just $10,000 in coverage for a 50, 60, 70, and 80-year-old male, and then a 50, 60, 70, and 80-year-old female. Again, we just want to get an idea of where Mutual of Omaha fits in the spectrum, and just to give you an idea of how price competitive it is. So first we're looking here at a male at 50 years old. Mutual of Omaha is $29.16 for $10,000 in coverage. Fairly competitive. The most competitive that's out there is around $25. For a 60-year-old, it's $42.76. For a male 70-year-old, it's $73.70. And for a 80-year-old, $10,000 coverage for a male, it's $132.65. So for a female 50 years old, for $10,000, it's $24.67. For a 60-year-old, it's $32.87. For a 70-year-old, it's $53.24. And for an 80-year-old female, it's $98.43. So what, again, is nice about Mutual of Omaha is that it's very competitively priced. You know, one thing when you look at these other companies, you'll notice some that are less premium for the same amount of coverage on the charts I showed you. Understand that you may or may not health qualify for those companies either. And generally, as the prices become less expensive, the qualification factors become more difficult. And while I'm happy to show you what those rates would be and your ability to qualify for those companies, the bottom line and the point I'm trying to take here is that Mutual of Omaha is very competitively priced. It's routinely in the top 5 most competitive pricings at each of those ages, whether you're male or female. And to just get a good idea, Mutual of Omaha is going to be a good, well-rounded company if you can qualify for their first day full coverage product. So let's talk about some cases where it's a good idea to buy a Mutual of Omaha direct from the company. So you saw all these health questions, and you may be reviewing them and thinking, Dave, you know, you told me to stick with this, but I have some health issues here that apparently Mutual of Omaha is not going to take. So, and again, stick around because there's going to be a little bit more information after this slide or two about some other options. It's important you stick around to see the alternatives too. So, look, if you like Mutual of Omaha to death, but you can't qualify for the first day full coverage product I offer, then that's when you want to call up the company potentially because you can't health qualify, or maybe you just don't like agents. I hope that's not the case with you listening to me, but I understand if you don't like sales to people after all. And you don't care if there's a 2-year waiting period. You just want to get something and you have no concerns. And if that's you, fine. Go that route. Again, stick with me because there's better routes, I think, if that does apply to you and you don't health qualify. A good reason to buy Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance from an agent like me is that you can health qualify. And you like the company. And you appreciate the peace of mind from first day full coverage. I mean, it's hopefully obvious why it's a benefit to work with an agent to get this kind of product because it can't be found direct to the company or using junk mail or TV ad process to get qualified. And maybe you like a competitively priced burial insurance product. Maybe you like good prices. I hope you do. And you can see by the rates you just saw that you can get that. So as I ask you to stick around, I appreciate it if you have, is that maybe you're in a position of saying, well, geez, Dave, I like the idea of a first day full coverage product, but based on the health questions I saw, I can't qualify. What other options are there? So the good news is that there are other options. This is why you work with a broker like me, because what we do as brokers is I shop your case around. There's a lot of people that can get first day full coverage for natural death that, bottom line, could not qualify for Mutual of Omaha's life insurance product that I offer. Perfect case in point if you recall the diabetes question. There are people who have had diabetes before 50 years old that can easily qualify for very good, high quality companies with first day full coverage for natural death. This is why I just don't represent one company like Mutual of Omaha. While Mutual of Omaha is a great product and great company, each company has their own individual set of standards that they apply when trying to approve somebody for coverage. And what you don't want to do is affix yourself with one product at the detriment to you and your loved ones if you die earlier than expected. Other examples where I don't use Mutual of Omaha is if somebody has lung problems like COPD, first day full coverage. There's several carriers that will provide you awesome coverage without that short change from the first day for natural death. If you have bipolar or you're schizophrenic or mental health disease, there are other products that are better that will provide first day full coverage. And the list goes on and on. If you've had cancer within if it's been just over 2 years, there are companies that will give you first day full coverage, whereas Mutual of Omaha won't because they have a 4-year look back. And so hopefully you get the point. this is why it's really important not to just totally fall in love with one company because it's a good company. There's a lot of good companies out there. But what ultimately matters is what do they provide for you. There's a lot of good companies in other organizations that aren't insurance that are good, but maybe not offer the right product for me, so I won't buy from them. So work with a broker. You want them to shop your case to see which of the companies that he works with can give you the best combination of price and coverage, because you want a package that is tailor-made to suit your unique health as well as your unique goals. You do not want something that is manufactured that does not necessarily give you the best value. And now I can't promise, nor can anybody else tell you for sure that you can qualify for something better, but I can promise you I'll definitely try, because my business, my income is made by helping people like you in your particular situation. So let's talk about how you can qualify for a life insurance program that's designed to pay for burial costs. The application process is simple. You pick an agent like me to work with, and then after the agent interviews you and figures out what you qualify for and you agree, let them draw the quote up. Once accepted, what the process would be for a burial insurance plan is to apply over the phone or apply over the internet. So even though you work with an agent like me, you don't necessarily need to see me. So it's nice and convenient. And usually it just takes a couple of days, a week or two tops. In some weird, rare cases, your coverage is approved if it was accepted. And then you get your policy, and that's it. It's very simple to get a burial insurance. There's no exams, nothing that will slow the process down. You just apply and see if there's a decision. So final steps, if you like the idea of qualifying for Mutual of Omaha's burial insurance program or for any final expense life insurance program, two ways to do it. You can go to my website. It's buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. Request a free quote. You can click the message box at the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen under the contact box. Send me a message. Or just call me directly at 888-626-0439. You can speak to me live. I'll tell you exactly what you can qualify for, a loved one, if you're shopping for them, in about 5 to 10 minutes. It's a very simple process, very easy to do, and it's no obligation either. As you can tell, I'm pretty easygoing. I just want to help you if you want to be helped, and you do whatever you want to with the information, and would love to help you. But again, there's no obligation to do business. If you like this video, leave a comment below. Like it if you haven't, and make sure that you subscribe. Do enjoy that you were here to listen to this information. I do hope that it helps you out. Ultimately, that is my solitary goal. My name is David Duford at buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.